One. TNA Wrestling is about to cross maybe its biggest line in many a years this coming weekend as we get to Slammiversary 2025. And my guest is going against an all too familiar foe of his past. We'll get into that and a bit more, but first things first, we need to welcome our guest, the leader of the Order 4, Mustafa Ali. Welcome to the show.
Adam, thanks for having me.
No, thank you for taking the time out of your day to talk to us. Mustafa, look, Slammiversary this coming Sunday. Just mentioned it there. TNA Plus app as well for anyone that wants to get it. Make sure you get that championship package. But Mustafa, how exciting is it though to be a part of TNA Slammiversary 2025, one of the biggest that the company's put on?
The buzz is incredible. I cannot open my phone, go on any platform without seeing someone somewhere talking about TNA, talking about Slammiversary, and all the guys and girls we talk, and you can see the pressure and kind of the little crap talking's going on a little bit, but who's going to steal the show? Word is most people have their money on me and Cedric Alexander, and rightfully so, they should. But I'm beginning to kind of feel that weight and that pressure of delivering. When you hear, legends in the game saying that Cedric and Ali are the ones to watch, there's some responsibility that comes with that. So, I'm smiling and I'm enthusiastic and I'm ready, but I'm also starting to like lock in, and as the days get closer, I get more and more serious. And then I can kind of see the match unravel in my head, how it's going to go. And then I'll be a, stone faced, absolute killer come Sunday. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be an incredible event. Jam-packed USB Arena, Slammiversary, one of the biggest events. Surprises I hear are on deck. Um, a part of me says I can't wait till Monday, so this immense pressure on my shoulder. But Sunday's just going to be available. So yes, if you are a fan of professional wrestling, if you were looking for one hell of a show this Sunday, TNA Slammiversary, I myself, Mustafa Ali, am guaranteeing you an amazing time.
It will be. I think the word that Carlos Silva used was phenomenal in a recent interview. So,
He
hey,
he he said it, not me. So.
exactly that. But look, we've seen over the last few weeks, and I do have to ask this: how are things with Order 4 at the moment? It's been a bit dodgy the last couple of weeks.
Order four is a family, as Mr. John Schuyler would say, and as any family is, we have issues. We have some people that might step outside the rules. We have those that value the rules. We have those that seem to forget sometimes. But at the end of the day, it is family. All is well in the House of Order 4 now, thanks to Press Secretary Tasha Steeles, who delivered one hell of a bamboozle, as they say. She lured Cedric Alexander into TNA. She presented herself as a damsel in distress when in fact she was the devil in a dress. And she's a genius. She knew that I was unraveling, that I was no longer focused, that my vision was blurred. I was no longer focused on becoming the TNA world champion. And she decided that if she was able to lure Cedric Alexander to TNA, put him in my crosshairs, all of that rage, all of that bitterness, all of that anger would be directed towards him. And she was right. What did I do? I challenged him to a match right off the bat. Miss Steele had pointed out, this is the one man that I was never able to beat in my entire career. This is the one man who they constantly mention his name before they say my name. They say Cedric and Ali, and that drives me crazy. Now, if I'm able to beat Cedric Alexander, not able, I will beat Cedric Alexander at Slammiversary. TNA management has no choice but to reconsider putting me back into world title contention. This was Miss Tasha Steele's idea. She was able to line me up. She was able to line up the other members of Order 4. And now she's able to maintain order in Order 4. So I say all is well.
We'll find out. You said say his name there, and I was worried for a minute we was going to get another screen pop up. For
Please,
that.
God, no.
Um, but you mentioned the World Championship, and it'd be a great time to bring this up because after this coming Sunday, TNA are either going to be could be 2-0 for World Championships. They could have the TNA Championship back, and they could have the NXT Women's Championship added to their locker room. They could be 1-1, Or the other way around, they could be 0-2, and the two biggest championships in TNA may be a part of NXT, which would mean potentially, Mustafa, you going along to NXT to get that championship.
See, this goes back to why Order 4 was created, why the campaign of me becoming the TNA World Champion was so important back in January. But no one wanted to listen to me. Mike Santana had to come and, interrupt this. None of this would be happening if I was world champion. I would not lose that world championship to someone in NXT. This mess that we're in because of Joe Hendry. I hope he's able to clean it up this Sunday. This is a mess, like an awful mess. If I was TNA World Champion, we would never have to worry about such a situation. But here we are. We don't need to cry over spilled milk. We just need to clean it up. So hopefully Joe or Mike Santana is able to clean up this mess. As far as the women's championship, I am very, very confident in Masha's ability to retain. But that NXT Women's Champion, JC, she has grown so much in the last year, I'd say, that nothing is safe around her. So yes, all eyes will be on what the stakes have never been higher for TNA. The biggest event, all the championships are on the line.
Yeah.
I hope to God we're not 0-2 though, but we have to tune in Sunday and see.
I severely hope you're not either. I mean, to be 0-1, we had the Nemeth brothers on here, and Nick was out of his mind angry. It wasn't a mistake. Joe had lost the championship at that point. But you mentioned there, JC Jenny NXT Women's Champion, and a part of this would have to say that perhaps she's been so good because she's had the TNA exposure. She's been in that TNA locker room before and working with the likes of Masha and everyone else in the TNA Knockouts division who are absolutely tremendous. Maybe that has kind of played into a downfall a little bit because she's learned more from the TNA Knockouts.
I'd also say, this might be a little too insider baseball, as they say, or pulling back the curtain. I think JC has grown so much just because she's been not given, she's earned the opportunity to grow. She's been put in high pressure situations. Listen, to come to another company to represent your company, it's a lot of pressure. You're the outsider. I've never, not that I'd be in the women's locker room, but I can't imagine it being overly accommodating considering some outsiders are coming in to compete with you. So to walk into enemy's territory and walk out victorious and to openly rep that you're not from there, there's a lot of pressure. So props to the NXT talent that do that. But again, about JC Pacific, I think she's grown so much is because she's had the opportunity to do so. I believe there's so many talented people in wrestling, in locker rooms across all these organizations. It just comes down to the opportunity to do it in front of the camera sometimes.
Yeah, definitely so. I do have to mention that this coming Sunday, there is an opportunity for the UK's own Leon Slater. And for those of you that watch this channel, and I know every TNA interview we have, I've said this since probably he started in TNA, that in 2025, Leon would be a champion in TNA. And this coming Sunday, I think that prediction will be, well, not a spoiler. It's not a prediction, it's a spoiler, so to speak, for this Sunday. Mustafa, do you think Leon has it in his arsenal, not just for the X division, but perhaps maybe one day to challenge you for the World Heavyweight Championship once you become champion?
I've been very, very vocal about my feelings about Leon Slater. But before I talk to him, I don't want, everyone's singing the praises of Leon and what he could do. What people need to understand is Moose is a machine. He is a massive man that can keep up with Leon. I don't think people understand how scary that is. A man of that size and that strength that has speed and cardio. Usually it's one or the other, You have strength, but you don't have speed. Moose is a machine. So I hope Leon, I know he's not, but I think the fans might be taking this a little lightly. Leon has a literal mountain to climb. And all this pressure about making history, that's one thing. It's going to be jam-packed. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure this might be the biggest venue Leon has ever performed from. Just the nerves itself is going to be another mountain for him to climb. So I'm going to be one of the first persons to congratulate Leon if he pulls this off, but he's got to pull it off first. And I think some fans, including himself, might be getting a little ahead of themselves. Moose is a more than credible champion and a very difficult opponent. So I want to preface that. Now on to Leon. I think the world of him. I wrestled him last year at Progress Wrestling
Yep.
in London, and I was blown away by his calmness in the ring. I was trying to run him out of the building. He was on, he didn't beat me. He did not beat me. I beat him. But let me tell you, he was on my heels that whole match. I have an immense amount of respect not only for him in the ring, but out of the ring. I hope he does pull it off. I hope he does make history. I hope it doesn't go to his head, because that we've seen that happen a lot of times. But Leon is something special, and I think he's going to do something extremely special on Sunday. The biggest compliment that I can give to Leon, Slater, and Moose is this. There's only one match that I am worried about potentially outdoing me this Sunday. It is Leon Slater versus Moose.
Is it really? I thought you would have said the ladder match for some unknown reason in that one, but no, that's a walking.
I respect all of them. They're not even going to come close.
I was going to say that you and Cedric have got such great chemistry. I remember the matches obviously going back in TO5 and everything like that. But as we start obviously wrapping up Mustafa, because I appreciate the time here, Sunday, TNA Plus, annual subscription for those of you, or you can get it as a standalone. What are the fans in for this coming Sunday that perhaps have never watched maybe TNA before and have got the opportunity to see Slammiversary?
So here's the thing. If you've never watched TNA, this is the show to watch. You're guaranteed amazing wrestling. We have matches that are guaranteed. There's literally a fight over who's going to have match tonight already, right? You got Moose, you got Leon, you got me and Cedric, right? That's your, even the NXT Women's Champion, that's your wrestling.
Yep.
You have star power. You have the social media frenzy guy, Joe Hendry. You have NXT's biggest star right now, Trick Williams. You got to have a guy, again, he doesn't have a name, so I'm not going to say it, but that guy is doing really well in the world title picture, okay? Everyone loves the Hardy Boys. Everyone loves a ladder match. You're going to get car crashes. You're going to get tables. You're going to get ladders. You're going to get some surprises, apparently. There's so much going on in TNA right now that whatever it is you're into, there's something for you. And I'm telling you, if there is a show for you to watch, if you're not sure on TNA, this is the show, because this is going to be one of the biggest production sets that I understand, the biggest production that we're putting on, biggest guests, biggest gate. This is the biggest for everything. So why not watch that show? This Sunday, check it out, TNA Plus app, Slammiversary. If anything, I promise you, I will deliver a match that is, I alone will deliver a match that's worth your money.
There you go. You heard it from the man himself, Mustafa Ali. But guys, just quickly running down the card: Trick Williams versus Joe Hendry versus Mike Santana for the TNA.
We don't say his name, but thank you.
Moose and Leon Slater for the X Division Championship. The Nemeths, the Hardys, the Rascals first class four-way ladder match for the tag titles. Tessa and Indy in a grudge match that goes a long way. Yourself and Cedric in a match that goes a long way. The Elegance brand defend the Knockouts tag titles against the Inspiration recently returned. And Masha Slamovich against JC Jane, title for title on that TNA Plus app. Get it downloaded, get subscribed, get the annual subscription, or you can watch it as a standalone pay-per-view itself. But Mustafa, it's been tremendous for this time we have with you. Good luck on Sunday. Watch our review on Monday of the show, like everybody else. And we wish you well, and we wish all TNA well this coming Sunday.
Thank you, Adam. I appreciate it. And just make sure when you do your review, you say Ali called his shot that he was going to steal the show like a week prior to, and then he did so. That's all I ask.
It's on my notes. It's on my notes. But guys, we're out of time. But for Mustafa Ali, from me, Adam Cousins, you've been watching the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. And until next time, everybody, cross that line, stay safe, and good night.